if we're complaining that 125 billion is too high for legislators, they're getting an extra 10 billion. What could they possibly be using that money for? Because, I mean, 10 billion is a lot of money.
To them, it's nothing.
To us, it's something, because we're asking...
Apparently.
A lot of people are asking questions as to the lifestyle of these legislators and how they live.
Oscar, Shehu Sani came out and he made bare to the public what they earn. And I think Donald Duke also said, no, Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State, said, if you hear what governors earn, it is child's play, or what they take home, whether they earn it or what have you, it is child's play to, you know, what did the senators earn is child's play to what the governors earn. And since then, nobody has called for anything.
Are we, as a people, responsible for this in the sense that we hear these figures, we hear these stories, it becomes headline news today, but by Wednesday, everybody is back to another hashtag.
I was discussing with my dad.
What can we actually do?
I was discussing with my dad recently, and he said our generation is weak.
Or lazy, maybe.
No, weak. He even said it. He said it before the hashtag of what the president said in London. And he said, in their own time, ordinary milk not being available to buy in the market, so it's expensive, that the university settings will have gone berserk. That's when he had the Alimos go protest. He said different protests that you've just been hearing one name as in protest this, protest that, pockets of protest that. Those in power will not feel too comfortable the way they are right now to do what they want to do anyhow, because they know that the student unions will put a check on them. But right now, everybody is interested in mundane things that that can't push their lives forward. It's so sad that our generation is, and sometimes when I just hear this not too young to run, I shake my head that it's...
But is it at the doorstep of the people for letting this carry on? If people are unhappy with what the legislatures are earning, is it within their power? Because there are bodies and institutions who are responsible for setting this amount of money for them, and there just seems to be no traction in that area. We thought with the current dispensation things would change, but it seems to be even getting worse, because this is 125 billion naira, this is another extra 10 billion, whatever it is for.
National Youth Council, what are they doing? Who has asked questions? Have they demanded? One of the pressure groups in Nigeria, it's a union for their own welfare, but I see them as a pressure group, is this oil people, this Pengasan. If Pengasan wants to go on strike by 7 p.m. today, I can guarantee you that they will get a call from, if they mention it now, in the next 1 hour, they will get a call from the president.
So, Kayode, I guess the question is, what power do the voting population hold? What power do we actually hold?
Number one, they are voting rights. They are franchise. They can say, we don't want you or we want you. Pressure groups, some people can say, come, this thing must go out. Look at Zuma in South Africa. He was ousted as president today, and in few weeks, he's appearing in court. How many presidents have appeared in court? Are you trying to tell me that all the presidents we've had in Nigeria, all through since after our independence, they've followed the books to the letter? Come on.
But you're a lawyer, right? So,
yes.
I mean, how strong is the legal system to back any man? We have instances of people who came out to basically fight for the people, and they were shut down in a matter of days and weeks, and they just went because at the end of the day, people end up thinking about, okay, what am I dying for? What am I shouting for? What am I putting myself out there for? If
you don't die for something, you will die for anything. The fact is that if you don't put your feet down, that fuel must be 145 today, and they should not increase it, they must not increase it without following some certain thresholds. If you don't do all that, your children will still experience what you are experiencing. It will be a roller coaster. It will keep coming. So you just need to fight for it. It's not a matter of I don't have interest, probably because you are tired, the system is not working. The judiciary needs a regig. Even lawyers. But the fact is that if they don't look into that, you will always have a crisis. And we're already having a crisis.
Do you think we're not a very proactive generation?
We are not, with all due respect.
But that doesn't mean, for example, we're lazy.
No.
Or are they cousins?
No. If you want to go through that route, we are not lazy, in fairness. Nigerians are not lazy. If you see the number of footwears, clothing materials, and the likes, accessories being made within the shores of Nigeria, you will be marveled.
I understand. I mean, the creativity is there. 2019 is around the corner.
Opportunities are not just there.
Are you sure about that?
Let me tell you something. If you make this suit right now, if I am to wear a suit, probably to court or to the office, if I don't have the purchasing power, how will I buy from you? Are you going to wear the suit? How many are you going to wear? Even if you are making for yourself, are you going to wear all the suits you've made? You need somebody to buy it from you. And if the economy is not right enough for me and every other person to be able to buy suits from you, to patronize you, what will you do? You will be impoverished. And for me not to be able to afford to buy a suit, meanwhile I need it to go to work and the likes like that, the economy will not move. Our GDP, you need to check it.
Oh, that's another
kettle of fish entirely.
You don't want to go to that.
Honestly, I looked at that of Nigeria and South Africa today, this morning, and I was like, come on, go and look at Nigeria and Rwanda. Look at Nigeria and Ghana. Ghana is ahead of us with almost all the indices we have right now. Okay. We only shout about our population. What have we used to make gain of that?
Well, Kylie, what would be your final advice to any young Nigerian watching now in terms of action and taking action, taking a stand?
Number one, I will want us to, with the youth generally, that we should have a common voice. If we have one or two sectors that are working, probably as a youth, we form ourselves into groups, and one or two sectors are working. We can use that to showcase. For example, we have one very young governor.
Sorry to cut you short there, Kade. I need to rush on this quick break, but thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Always a pleasure having you.